genetic brain profiling. And genetic brain profiling gives us that gift that we don't need to have formal introductions. Even without it, we can beautifully craft welcome you to this learning forum 3 to 4 on nurturing 21st century skills. To start with, my first question is, please tell us about your magical journey becoming a great educator, a leader of the 21st century. ये कैसे हुआ? How did all this happen?
It's a long journey which started in 1999. Each one of us starts our journey the day we are born. And we really don't know where we are going to land. But then, always wanting to teach at heart, I started teaching kids half my age when I was in grade 10, or I completed grade 10. From that day, I was like, I can teach something. That was the only thing that I understood. And somehow, when I used to teach, these children used to get good marks. So these moms would come back, ma'am, padha do. And then I took up science. I wanted to do something because I understood those people who learn science, learn an overall concept, ये एक सोच थी हमेशा. And then I was like, okay, BSc, DMLT, FMT हो गया, being the first batch for stem cell collections in India. And everything was flabbergasting. But my heart lied, I want to teach back. What I learned, I want to teach back. And that innovativeness in me started in 2010 when I joined Avalon Heights. And from there, the journey was like a non-stop roller coaster. And I enjoyed every part of it. And then I learned that there is an instinct in me who wants to be a mother to more than one child. And when that instinct came to me that I want to be a mother to more than one child, then I was like, okay, I can't be Kunti, but I can be a teacher. And a teacher is a mother to, infinite number of children. So that is where my journey as an educator started.
Amazing. So coming to your smile, a lot of educators, a few serious, a few smiling. What is the secret of your smile? Because a smiling teacher can get anything done. Students or teachers or teams. So what is the secret?
Till I was unmarried, this smile has been kept intact by Mr. Vijay C. Badamwala, the first pillar, the first hero of my life. I would ask a pen, I would have an imported pen with me. So I can never be thankful enough to Daddy, who has been the hero of my life. The second hero, my husband. He's like, yaar, tum jiyo apni zindagi. Khush raha karo. For him, the bottom line is smile first. And then is my daughter, who's come to me like an angel. And she's like, Mama, if you don't smile, I can't smile. So, तीन जो रोज मेरी जिंदगी में है, this smile is stuck to me for them.
Amazing, amazing. Yes, a smile is stuck. And how did you develop interest for English language, music? Because music also runs in your blood. And you can read faces. And you can solve people problems. And you can win hearts. How do you do that?
A lot of these qualities come from my dad. My dad worked with Tatas for 32 years. He started pretty young with them. And I still remember once he had turned 50 and there was a newly joined engineer under him. So I said, Papa, ye engineer kitne saalon ka hai? Because we were obliged
English,
to
English.
go to...
Tamil audience.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
okay. We were obliged to go to his office. It was a pride because he was the GM at Tata and we were the GM's kids. So we were allowed to go, and he bought Leher Pepsi to India. My dad bought Leher Pepsi to India. So believe me, when I entered his office and I said, Papa, what is he doing? So he said, he's making a plan. So my dad is a chemical engineer. So I said, you work with him? It was very, very different from me because what do you think? These big people work only with big people. So he's like, no, but I have to handle them. And I said, how do you talk to him? How can you talk? So he's like, You are half my age. Do I talk to you? And then, he always told us, it is not the age. You talk to a person. And he also ensured, he spoke to us as adults, asking us what are our likes, our dislikes. So it makes a lot of difference when and I still remember my mom, she is a Bharatanatyam dancer. And she was so inclined to music. So one quality that I took from dad is you can talk to anybody, you can speak to anybody. And at the same time, if you're patient enough, you can analyze the person. So he was like, you have to understand what they talk, listen first. So he used to do that with such a wide age group, which I learned over a period of time. And my mom, she was always, very, Jigna, music is something which is going to soothe you. So she had Bharatnatyam at her school. She's from Amula Kamichand Bhimji Kothari Vivid Lakshmi Vidyalay Vadala. And they had Bharatnatyam in their curriculum at that point in time. And when I started reading about Bharatnatyam, I'm not very sure how many people know it is a neurostimulator. It makes the left side of your brain work exactly like the right side. And that is what even music does to you. That is what clapping does to you. So when you do the talam, why do you see those people so precise? Okay. And this all attracted me to Bharatanatyam and Carnatic music. And when I see there are so many examples of those people who have a Bharatanatyam base or a classical dance base, let it be any of the 8 forms, which are the classical dances of India, they have excelled in life because their right and the left brain works in sync. Most of the classical dances are pure bilateral dances. There is no, one side. So seeing the beauty of that classical dance, it was very attracting to me. And that is where music and analysis both came to my life.
Amazing. I am thoroughly enjoying this session because I have your report in front of me. So it gives me greater joy to see how we are blessed with inborn talents and you are blessed with wonderful support system and great parents. Yes, we may say, I learned it from dad, I learned it from my mother, but all of us here know that music comes from right temporal. And you have greater abilities even to create music with your right prefrontal. Both are very strong. So you are a great leader as well. Now, what were your learning challenges as a student? Then I will reveal the secret.
I have a very high phobia when it comes to learning maths.
Yes, because you are a right brainer. You love people, emotions.
For me, you tell me science, you tell me psychology, you tell me anything. You tell me English, you tell me Marathi, you tell me Hindi. I will learn. Yes. But you tell me to calculate and I'm like, what have you told me? What did you do?
Trigonometry.
I'm like, who created numbers? For what?
God. Yes. I can feel it and all the members here can feel it. Right prefrontal, very good. Right temporal, very good. And maths comes from left temporal, left frontal, left prefrontal. Yes, they are good. But the magic, I'll tell you, you are a very fast learner. Now you tell us how many languages do you know? What all you learned just like that? Anything, whatever you touched, you could learn fast. Please tell us about that.
Like I said, I am very flabbergasting when it comes to learning. So I know English, Hindi, and Marathi, which are the basic language, because I belong to Maharashtra. Kutchi is my dad's mother tongue. So I know Kutchi. Gujarati is what I learned over a period of time because dad used to take us to Gujarat and we used to move around there. So Gujarati is what I learned. I learned Sindhi in the bargain because I had quite a few Sindhi friends. Also, I learned Bengali. I learned Bengali music also.
Already.
And because I learned Bharatanatyam, I had to understand Malayalam, and Sanskrit was something that we were taught at home. Because our home is very much a follower of
8 languages.
Yeah, 8 languages. But what I understand is, I learned this when I learned Sanskrit. If you know Sanskrit, you can decode most of the languages.
Super. Any guesses on the personality you can put in the chat box? Now, coming to your personality, you come to know about people effortlessly. You read faces. You feel what is unsaid. You hear silence. You hear what is the breathing pattern and whatnot. So how has that helped you understand your students and understand your spouse, understand your parents, understand people?
Being very blessed to meet Master Choa Kok Sui at the age of 16. Pranic healing, which is one of the proved science with Carolyn photography, came to my life at a very young age. And that helped me develop my clairvoyance, understand energy bodies. My dad, like I said, I'm his princess. You know, matlab, even my 2 other siblings, Jigna ne bola ki daddy gaye. He's gone. The moment she makes a call, what happened to her? When we make a call, Papa, what is wrong with you? And he's like, no, she needs me. So they're like, she is your princess, we are your kids. That is understood. And, you know, like at one call, daddy is like, Jigna, what happened? Tell me. And I'm like, Papa, this. And I vent it out. I can't vent it out to everybody. But these 2 pillars, like I told you, the 2 men in my life, and I vent it out. And then he's like, okay, chill. Okay, hold on. We can sort this out. And then I know, okay, it'll be sorted. So this came to me because of the positive energy that dad always gave, you know, right from childhood. हो जाएगा, होना ही है और अच्छा ही होगा.
English. Others will understand your jokes.
It has to happen. It will happen, and the best is going to happen. When he used to say this, I used to say, Papa, you think I will get good marks in maths? You know maths so well. He said, chill. You will get. But if you keep on saying, I can't do, you won't do it. So this positivity, you know, when I saw in him, even when he used to do the biggest of the projects, and I was like, Papa, this project will get over in time. You are saying every day I listen to your phone call or something. When you are coming home, you're like, this is not done. No timelines have been met. And, you know, they've not completed this. And you still think it, and he's like, it'll be done. These are just part and parcels of that roller coaster ride that you've been assigned. So this is where the first positivity started. Then Master Choa Kok Sui came, and he taught us that we have this invocation. I am not the body. I am not the thoughts. I am not the emotions. I am not the mind. The mind is a part of the soul. You are the soul. And these sentences changed my life. And Master always says, you know, why do you think are you on this earth? Had you no karmic entitlement, you wouldn't be wanted here. But that karmic entitlement, there is an inner voice which tells you what you are here for. If you are into giving and you have to sacrifice, remember you took it in the last birth or whenever possible. And you've come to give it back. So just give it back. Listen to your inner voice. Yes, your ego sometimes, how much to give? How much to give now? Enough I've given. And I gave and look, no returns. But you had to give because you were entitled to give. Can everybody be a giver? No, not everybody can be a giver. There are more takers than givers. But like we see this Indian culture, which is so beautiful. Why today India is so divergent, so diverse. When I look at my country, our country is the most beautiful to take birth, and to take birth as a Hindu. And, you know, understand the culture and so many various cultures. When I see those different cultures coming in, And those cultures teaching us, like I always even respect the Muslim culture because they're so particular when it comes to timetabling themselves when they have to connect to their God. That's the most wonderful thing I feel about that culture. When I see the Sikh culture, I'm like, it is so beautiful. They just follow their guru so very properly till date. And it's like just those teachings is more, that book is so important. There is no form. For Jainism, Mahavir and Buddha gave those beautiful enlightens. So when this spirituality totally came into my life is what has made me what I am today.
That's your prefrontal magic, and healing came to you naturally at an early age. Please tell us about your healing journey.
Yeah, like I said, I met Master very early and I learned the healing techniques. But Master would never allow his disciples to touch him. And we had Kriya Shakti, which is one of our courses at Bangalore. And Master's plane was late. And everybody was waiting at the gate. And then we were told, okay, Master's going to be late. I'm talking about 98, when there were no mobile phones. And we just got a call in the hotel. And we came to know, okay, Master's going to be late. So we better go in. And I don't know, that urge of me said, no, I'm going to wait here for those 60 minutes. And unfortunately, when everybody knew, okay, Master's arriving, and somebody pushed me and I happened to touch his lotus feet. And for like a fortnight, I did not know what is sleep. I did not know the amount of energy that I gathered. And then I started healing. And then Master said, do you understand what's happening with you? I said, I think this is heaven. And that, sometimes it's that taste of wine which gives you the kick. So this was my taste of spiritual wine. And it was so beautiful, so beautiful. Like I always used to feel connected to Krishna. I am a follower of ISKCON, and I feel there's nobody else who can teach you life better than Krishna. He was the most lovable, but the most detached. He did what was required from him. And he still lived a beautiful life with so much of love. So if we can just be like him, or at least take those 10%, I think we're done.
So now from your life, let's move to the schools. These modern day children, modern day youth and the teens, how should I nurture them? There are all nurturing agents here in the chat room. So what is your tips to nurture the modern day kids?
The first thing I understand is the learning that I learned from my life. My dad would never take us as kids. The first thing he did, I think he did it before it was required. He gave us that freedom to decide. And we talk about it today. But there were so many parents who were already enlightened and who have been doing it. But there is a very fine line between that freedom and keeping the rope in your hand. Giving it, it's like flying that kite, but you need to know when to bring it down. Else it's going to get cut. So exactly like you fly the kite, you have to give it the necessary thread. Let go of the thread. But at the time when you know that thread needs to be pulled back because of a certain height or the certain wind, which is going to cause the harm, and the kite is not able to take it, is exactly how I would request the parents of today to nurture their children. Being too strict, do you think the kite is going to fly? You keep it very tight. It's not going to fly. You give it very loose. Somebody is going to come, take it off. But when you are that pro at flying the kite, do you lose your kite? No, it's always there with you. So this is exactly, you want your children in your life. I would just say, take our own examples. After we are married, do our parents change? No, our parents don't change. But our attitude towards our parents change? Yes. Kyun? You're still their child. No, if your parents didn't change, how did you change? But what happens? Mama, I'm also a mama. Arey, but she brought you up. And we forget our basics. I'm a 21st century parent. What is added to me? Information technology, creative thinking. But don't you think when there was not many resources, how much more creative thinking your parents had to do? I remember my parents hunting for encyclopedias so that I would have the most amount of GK. We don't need to do that. It's right there on the laptop. It's right there on the mobile phone that we use. So actually, our parents did more than what a 21st century parent is going to do for their kids. But actually, at the same time, there is something different for sure that you need to do for children of today. Yes, they have a huger portion. First, the world was not so small. The world was really big. So I didn't know exactly what is happening at the other end of the world that I live in. But today, the world has become so small that I am competing with somebody miles away. I'm literally competing. I would not even say that I am competing just mentally. It is physical, it is financial, it is every way, educational, and it is that race that I have entered. I would not call it the rat race. We will never make the life for our children a rat race. First point, do not compare your child. Your child is unique.
Correct?
Your child is very unique. Because it is your genetics. It's your first child and the only thing. किसी और का बच्चा नहीं है. You are the best to decide. Don't get carried away. Arey, that mother is doing this mother is doing that father is. You are your child's parent. You can decide the best. We can give you tips. We can't give you a pathway.
Brain profiling gives a pathway. And I know you are a very, very caring educator.
Yes.
Now, when I say you are a very caring educator with analytical skills, so head and heart balanced, but you have come across variety of children.
Yes.
Not all are soft and flexible. Yes. Some want freedom. And the others are wanting instructions. Yes. Please guide. Please hold me. So please tell us about your classroom experiences, school experiences.
Yes, like you said, and yes, every child is very different. We have started making categories. These are the softer ones, these are the extroverts, these are the aggressive ones, and these are the assertive ones. Yes, those are normal qualities. And what happens when we are teaching in a class? You see those first benchers? Me first. Everything is me first. Okay? And those last benchers are so happy. And as a teacher, you have always seen your first bench and last bench. What about those average ones?
Yeah.
So I would always want teachers to please concentrate on your middle benchers also. Your first benchers will take the cake whether you offer or you don't offer. Your last benchers think, bacha, if it is left, I will eat. Not there, I will get it from somewhere else. Those are your last benchers.
I will copy Jigna's notes. I will photocopy Jigna's notes.
But the average benchers are the ones who are waiting. Will ma'am call me? Will she notice me today? And believe me, the day you notice them, you've done the wonders in life. Because that average bencher has a potential to come forward. And your non-attention has already put them one step behind. So yes, when we are looking at a class, when I see, I try shuffling their benches. Very, very good. The first bencher, last, then they rotate. Then sometimes the rotation is anti-clockwise. And what happens now, they know, okay, tomorrow I have to sit on the first bench. I better behave myself. It changes the child's perception. I'm going to be right in below ma'am's nose. I tell them, you're right below my nose. And
Beautiful.
these are the few techniques. Also, always when you're talking to them, I would request every educator, ensure that when you don't like that child's notorious behavior, or there can be anything like, I learned this very hard, but I learned it for good is what I understand. There was an educator whom I was listening to. I do listen a lot of talks from Mr. T. Rangaranjan also. And I do listen to Sadhguru also at the same time. And one of their talks, they said, do not judge. You don't know what is the situation on the other side. Most of the times, children who are aggressive, who are assertive, any one of the extreme behaviors that you see, the best thing is to let the child behave and talk to you. What do we do? You have no brains? If he didn't have brains, what is he doing in your class? How can your teacher ask, you have no brains? You are a neurosurgeon, you saw the brain is missing. So these are the words I would really avoid as an educator. The more positivity we give to a child, like I saw this movie, Saina Nehwal's movie, and the best small thing that I picked up, and believe me, I'm doing it for my daughter. Saina Nehwal's mom put it as world's best badminton player as her mobile number when she saved it for her daughter. She gave the first mobile to her daughter and she saved it. And my daughter keeps on telling me, Mom, I'm going to be a pilot. And I put it as world's best pilot. She was flabbergasted. Okay, Mama, you trust me from now? And I'm like, yeah, why will I not trust you? And believe me, you do that for your children. We have those small leaderboards in our class. Ask your child, what is your aim? And believe me, from grade 3, 4, and 5, if we as educators can inculcate this small spark in them, the fire is going to be beautiful. Beautiful lotuses bloomed, beautiful flowers bloomed.
Yeah, this side.
All the buds will never wither away. These buds are going to go to the next level.
I loved it. So many tips for parents and teachers. Great. So amazing. And I remember in Navjyoti, I went, we had those 12 square meter plots, 18 square meter plot classes. And I said, hey, now you are in 24 square meter. It was a double plot in the slums. Do you like this class? No, sir. Why? Sir, this classroom does not have my photo. Those were stamp size photo and we had talent hunt chart. As usual, Dr. Kiran Bedi and Neetu Sharma ma'am used to guide us. Do this talent hunt chart and those stamp size photo, name and talent, name and talent. Those little ones, second standard, they also felt this class does not have my photo.
Yes.
One chart can make a difference. And that is what genetic brain profiling does. We ignite that spark and it remains with us forever. It is not that temporary thing. Because we recognize ourselves, we meet our true essence and flavor. So thank you, Jigna ma'am. Now moving ahead, you gave tips for teachers and parents. Now I'll come back to your life. How you are a master in bouncing back. You're feeling bad and sad, alone, etc., etc. Right? All of us feel.
Yes.
You bounce back very fast. So how do you do that? Please tell us.
Yeah, I have had a very long journey when it came to getting a child in my life, wherein I have seen failures for 5 times. 10 children I had lost. I think that was just when I see my beautiful daughter today. Most of us, always have this thing that why should we talk about the past? I would say, why should we not talk about the past? If I'm talking in it and there is a positivity which I have taken from, why would I not talk about my lessons learned? It took me 13 years after marriage to get a child into my life. I did my B.Ed in 2020. I completed. I'm still pursuing my M.A. After a gap from 2012, where I had done my DHRM from Wellinkers, going back to studying at 2018, I think it was like 6 years. And I had stopped studying in 2000. I'm like, do I think I can fit into a college? These were a few questions which always came to my mind, that how do other people cope up with life? That cope, the word cope, always came to my mind. And you won't believe, when I had this word cope in my mind, I said, is it really too big a word? Is it something that I can't do? Is it something that I am going to take such a long time? And I had written a very small poem to myself. I would actually want to read it out, Sunny-ji, if allowed. Living each day, losing hope, no way to learn how to cope. Emotions inside me, I fight and cry, keeping quiet, saying not again, but why? Felt like a child, I had no power. Emotions inside me, wild, crying for hours. I was feeling sad, but I am not mad. My feelings would rage. My emotions were locked in a cage. I won't gain anything from my anger. Pain inside me, I masked by looking stronger. People would no longer doubt. Once I lashed out, always taking out the anger on me to ensure no one else would see. Emotions and feelings cried despair. It isn't that I don't care to express what I want to say. I am determined to find a way. Wishing I had learned from the start to express and not fall apart. For healing to begin, I'm going to hold on, but I'm not going to hold it in. With immense hope, I will surely cope. And this thing inside me taught me one thing. Don't hold anything inside you. Grudge, hatred, thanklessness. The person did it, fine, over. Your karmic entitlement is over. But the day you have the feeling, you have to detach, understand, move on. Coping is the most easiest thing. It's not hard.
It is for Jigna, Khyoni. Swami sir must be smiling behind the camera because your whole report was in the poem. Yes, I'm determined. I love freedom. I'm going to express. Why express? Because I listen more. I take in more. I'm a wonderful listener. Now I'm going to express. Yes, I am determined to cope because both the prefrontal lobes are fantastic. And yes, I do have feelings, but I bounce back. So amazing. I'm sure all of us enjoyed here. I want to consciously give chance to everyone to talk. And before that, I'll come to my favorite question. All of us have dreams, and we as educators have dream school. You know, the environment, the setting, the plan. So what is your grand master diamond destiny plan? A 7-star cruise, a 5-star hotel like school, or a place filled with love? How would the curriculum be? How would the environment be? Please tell us.
For me, the curriculum is summed up into very short words. We as educators have given a very huge picture to something which should be the most smallest thing. A curriculum teaches me life is beautiful. A curriculum which teaches me to live is useful. A curriculum that helps me grow is going to be amazing. A curriculum I understand will be pleasing.
And the way you say, all of us can listen for hours and hours and hours. That's the magic of the right temporal, the music low, and you are so musical. I quickly invite Ratna Swami sir because he knows the report. So I'm eager to see and listen to him. And then we can come one by one.
I think
It was a
yeah,
treat, a very big treat indeed. And this is one of the best and the most memorable Sunday learning hours for me personally. Yes, sir. Please, over to you.
yeah. Thank you, Sunny. And I think for the first time in the last more than a year that we are having such sessions in Midna, and I'm happy to see that this has been a very unique session. And I don't know, destiny has to have it like this, that you take a genetic brain profiling and then you add on or you continue to ask questions depending upon the design of the brain. I think this is an excellent uh, idea, and we should do this. Otherwise, what happens, Jigna, is we ask standard questions like a psychometric test, and just people are giving their different versions of their responses and all. But for the first time, we have had an anticipatory responses from you, and then when they are matching with your responses, it gives us a lot of validation of the understanding that we are having beforehand. How the thought process goes on within you. So I think for the first time in the last more than a year, Sunny has framed questions based on your brain profile or the your design or your thought process, and I think Sunny did handle it very well. So all that poetry that comes in, that moving on, hope, courage, I think really really wonderful. When you said that why we should talk about the past. Yes, we should talk about the past to come to the future, not to remain there itself. So sometimes once you talk it out, it becomes a healing. But unfortunately, many people are talking it to reinforce their pain, reinforce their suffering. So they remember the suffering, but they are not using as a stepping stone to come out of that. So in your brain profile, we see you are such a person, you can just move out of that one without really detaching. In fact, I would say your kind of moving ahead is not abruptly cutting off and then going, but then gradually, without hurting the past, you want to move into the future. That's something we see very clearly on your report. I don't know whether Sunny has shared the report with you or not. Your logical, your mathematical intelligence is the lowest of all the intelligences. So it is very natural when we heard you speaking that maths is something. I wanted to know who invented mathematics. That is something we can understand. And the very basic reason is somewhere in the compartments where this basic mathematics is coming from is definitely having some challenge, and then we understand that as well. And you are an excellent listener as well. So I think people love to be in among the listeners rather than the talkers, because according to your design, you are intuitively hearing a lot more about a person more than what they are speaking. In fact, I would say your non-verbal understanding of the person's communication is quite very strong. So for you, it is not the words that are making meaning. It is the pitch and the tone and the rhythm of the person's emotional expressions are actually making. That is why Sunny also said you are a great mother as well. and you know what is needed for the child, and only you address to it, rather than over treating the child out of I would say attachment. You're definitely a great mother as well as a great leader, because you know what everyone around us is expecting from us. So that is something, a good quality that we see here. And I was just really amazed to see the big poem that you are rendering without even blinking your eyes or just thinking about it, which says that either you have been telling every day this poem, this is a poem that has come out of your heart, by your soul, that it has left a big imprint on your memory, that even somebody wakes you up in your dream, you can tell it without thinking it or taking time to recalling it once. So I'm very happy, and today super happy, because for the first time we know what the speaker is internally thinking about and how the expressions are coming. And I would say it's almost like 100% matching. And without Sunny's knowledge, I did share with the family members as well. So I am sure all the specialist, experts in genetic brain profiling would be smiling at the validation, at the correlation of the report. And I must thank Sunny for making the initiative. It came to us for assessment yesterday night around 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
I didn't look into the name, but then Sunny said it is Jigna's report. Then I looked into it, and for the last 45 minutes, I was just doing an internal correlation of what you spoke and what you responded. And I think really wonderful, listening from you, Jigna. I'm very happy about it.
Thank you
Now,
so much. Thank you
yeah,
so much.
yeah. Now I would request the family members to just, give your feedback. And today,
Our blessings,
yes,
smiles, congratulate ma'am in your words.
Thank you.
yes,
And she's
yeah,
100% effective.
yeah.
Thanks to
Everyone
Rinki
knows.
Agarwal for organizing it beautifully.
Yes.
They
Okay.
were miles apart, but they could do it like this. So that's
Wow,
all
wow.
full marks to Rinki Agarwal.
Yes.
She also
I,
being a right brainer, she did a
yes,
great, excellent job. So this is what a great family can do.
right. Sunny,
So
you
many
should,
smiles.
Sunny, you should connect with the right brainers of the network to get wonderful souls like this, so that the Sundays can be really, enlightening Sundays, spiritual, caring, leadership. I think somewhere this kind of brains should be to be in the educational industry, because they know how to just infuse love first and then infuse the education and learning later. I think that's the way they all should, nurture the newer generation as well. Yes,
MIDNA Global is lucky to have Jigna ma'am. Yes,
yeah,
Ravi sir, we'll start with you, the chief of DAV. Ravi sir is here. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
thank you, sir.
Thank you, team, and it's really wonderful. This is the first time new experience that we are just seeing simultaneously the GBP profile, the report, as Sir was telling. I was also just trying to see each lobe and what is said, how things goes on and all that. Very interesting to see that a focused learner with this such a versatile talents, and she could nurture, and as we could see that her cosmic intelligence is so strong, I think highest among that, and she is destined to do something great in the coming day. So thank you, ma'am. It's nice, wonderful, and
Thank you so much for these you humbled me completely. Thank you so much, Perumal Ravi.
He's the director of DAV Schools Chennai. He is the
Oh,
dean
wow.
academics, and he handles so many schools all
Wow.
across.
thank
Yes.
you, thank you. All the best, ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Who's next? Words of joy, questions. Praveen Balaji, I'm sure he's super fast, like you, but he's a left brainer. So we have a comment, wonderful person, best example for great nurturing, blessed to attract blessings from the universe to serve. That's Nityanandi ma'am, correspondent secretary of Punvidya Mandir, Karur. Yes, Praveen Balaji, you want to share something? Dr. Anjali, ma'am, I'm sure you have lots to say. Okay, great. I think sir is also waiting. So let's on to sir. We can have conclusion and parting message from Jigna, ma'am.
Yes.
Life in one word. I'm sure your answers are going to be very interesting.
My life in one word, I always say this. My daughter taught me. We are three happy family.
Amazing. School in
This
one
is
word.
what I want in life. Like you asked
Yes.
me, what is it that you want in life? I
Correct.
just want we three together. दूसरा सब अपने आप हो जाएगा. It'll all be taken care of.
Right temporal speaking and right prefrontal also feeling. Yes, people are important. Yes.
Before I just close, there is something that I want to tell to the educators. This is I wrote when I was asked what you feel as an educator. A prized profession with a lot of obligation. Mentoring is a priority, and we ensure to remove all negativity. We are expected to give clear definitions, ensuring there are no confusion. Give the teenager an objective. You will never find them aggressive. A teacher advises her children's faults, guides through their thoughts. You ensure their goals they reach with every lesson you teach. When a child's future brightens, it's your smile that lengthens. You are the creator of every philosopher and king. With all your wisdom that you bring. The new normal has brought a new formal. You didn't budge, neither you made a nudge. You ensure that children are not idle, and you become each one's idol. With a huge smile, you start the session in a unique style. You've removed their depression and boredom, ensuring that even during this pandemic, teaching gained a momentum. You ensured each one grow like a daisy, just ensuring that you make things look really easy. You conducted online and offline classes with full zing, ensuring even in downtime, studies were in full swing. Thank you for thinking of a new way to reach when no one else could teach. So yes, you matter. Teacher, you do matter.
Jigna ma'am, determination
Excellent.
to full on because of prefrontal lobes and the magic of newness and development thinking. And I didn't speak about you get bored very fast. So you are perfect with the new changes, new normal, making it formal and the new style. Very good. And some teachers still complain, oh God, when will this end? Why new changes? God. So you are magical in many ways and being fearless. Accepting the new normal is spirituality. So every word again, I was only laughing and enjoying. Wow. It comes to you so easily, so naturally. Acceptance, intuition, people, determination, and whatnot. And then later I will speak to you. What do you do when you get bored? Do you get hurt and do you cut off classes? मैं बोर हो गई हूँ, no more this class. I don't like this teacher, no more this class. She hurt me. She insulted me.
I found this new thing for myself, putting my thoughts to words.
Yes, it heals you because there is attachment and right temporal brings that. But you are blessed. Your attachment doesn't stay for long. So thank you, Chaya Lakhwani ji. Sometimes we need to respect the comments only because they don't speak out in the mic, So I feel bad. I wanted to hear their voice. Thank you, Bhupalan sir. Thank you, Rakhi ma'am. Thank you, Kamna. I was actually waiting for you all to express in words as well with your voice. We have Pankaj ma'am. Yes, please.
Yes, thank you, Saniji. Actually, good evening, everyone. Good evening, sir. I couldn't stop myself because I could see a little bit of myself in Jigna ma'am. So, means really wonderful. The whole session, went like theory and practical, science and art, both going hand in hand. And I was enjoying your poems also, Jigna ji, and beautifully written. And the one thing for me, the key takeaway is that I just don't want to be a teacher or a mother of one child and teacher of so many children. So same feeling I just have for children. So beautifully written poems and beautifully expressed thoughts, just really relatable. And congratulations to you for this session, for this wonderful talk. Thank you, and more power, more blessings to you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Pankaj. And as you said, she is also a right brainer with temporal being cognitive. So I think the feeling, the poetic, the language, so much competency is there in the language and extempo. You can even come out with a poem instantaneously without really blinking your eyes. You can just, create a poem on their go. And as you said, you just take a paper, the poem is ready for you. Because so much of intuitive ability you have, so much of new ideas are coming in extempo. You can speak, you can connect, no fear, so much of courage, feeling driven, and so much of intuitiveness and cosmic intelligence there. I think you are directly connected with divine energy. And I think throughout your life, you have got exposures and opportunities that enhance that connectivity with the thy power that is above all of us. I think definitely you are a blessed divine soul like everyone else, but I think some are making it very obvious and expressible, whereas some others are struggling to find out how to bring out their uniqueness into this world. I think teaching, connecting with children and grooming them, I think you are a great mentor for the children, and we feel very happy have got connected to you. We just hope that in the days to come, through Sunny's connectivity, I wish that you help children to figure out. You said one point that you put a board there and you give your recognition, the talents and all. But I think very often children are not able to figure out. It is not that every child can figure out what their dream they want to become, like the pilot you talked about and the tennis badminton player, all those things. But they are very small, minuscule in nature. Because they become popular, they overshadow those children who are struggling to figure out what they can do well in their life. So I guess the majority of the students are not able to figure out at a very younger age what they are capable of doing. I think genetic brain profiling gives us a very unbiased, very reliable, hidden, inborn, innate talent and potential of the children. So I just suggest that ensure or go through this experience, the tool, and see what best we can do to the children who are connected with us, so that we become even more effectively useful to them in shaping of their life as well. So thank you once again for being very kind enough to grace this opportunity that you are requested to, and it's our pleasure, and we would like to be in touch with you in the days to come. And I think that is going to be a blessing for us as well. So thank you,
It is
Jigna.
a blessing, a great blessing that Master has got me in touch with all of you. And thank you to Preeti Pasricha ji and Sunny Nagpal ji and today you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Like I always start and end with an Atma Namaste from my soul to yours.
Thank you. That's a great way of exchanging the greetings. Now we are going to have the 4 o'clock session wherein the one of the family members who have experienced the genetic brain profiling and how it changed their life once forever in a different way. So that she is going to share her experience. So if you have time, you can just wait for stay back for some more time, and so that you understand the magic this profile is doing to this network as well as people who are connected with. And I must say one thing: the entire family members have come to us as customers, as clients, and they have become family members. This is like somebody comes to you as a stranger and becomes your sister-in-law and brother-in-law who would live with you forever, kind of thing. So that's the kind of family that we are all. So many people do their business and activities and they make a family, but here it is a family that is connected much beyond the commercials and the benefits that come. They are all connected emotionally and spiritually and in all other ways as well. So now I will invite Kamna to just start giving your session. One second. I'll just make you co-host.
All the best, Kamna.
Thank you,
You
sir.
always
Thank you so
rock,
much.
and